The Brewers. Their 14-game winning streak ended yesterday, finally, but the Brewers are still in position with the best record in the majors by 6 games. This team leads the majors by 6 games over the Toronto Blue Jays, who have had a remarkably good season as well. The Brewers, with the 8th lowest payroll in the game, are doing this, leading the majors in runs scored, doing all kinds of things. And as I wrote today in The Athletic, there's a lesson there, if anyone in baseball cares to heed it. And the lesson, you see it in every ball the Brewers put in play, every runner they advance, every cutoff man they hit, every extra base they take. And the lesson is that here is a team that is at least trying to play the game properly at a time when too many organizations place too much emphasis on the next big analytical thing and too little emphasis on sound fundamental play. Now, as I wrote, and I want to be very clear about this because people get excited and upset, I am not bashing analytics. Far from it. Analytics are integral to the game. They've been an important part for years now. They help players get better. They help teams evaluate. They enhance everything about baseball. What I am saying here, what my point is that while organizations seem to obsess over enhancing pitching velocity, hitters' exit velocities, why can't they do the same on the fundamental side? Why can't they emphasize and stress running the bases properly, hitting the cutoff man, all the little things, all the subtleties that make baseball such a wonderful sport? We've talked a lot about the Yankees' flaws in recent weeks, right? We've kind of focused on them. It goes back to Game 5 of last year's World Series. But it's not just the Yankees who often stumble their way through games. We see this with every team in every game every night. It drives a lot of fans crazy, drives a lot of old school baseball people crazy, drives some media crazy. It's not the game that we grew up watching, and I'm not talking about going back 20 years, no analytics. No, just play the game right. So as I wrote today, and I want to show you this passage, this is one I'll quote from because it kind of sums up the entire article. The Brewers are an outlier, exploiting a new market inefficiency, knowing how to play baseball. They obsess over little things in part because they generally do not pay for superstars who do big things. Most Brewers make too little money and possess too little service time to defy their detail-oriented leader, manager Pat Murphy. And the team's highest paid player, left fielder Christian Yelich, practices what Murphy preaches, inspiring his teammates to do the same. Now, the point about Murphy is important. And it's important because he can get away with doing things that other managers can't. He can bench Sal Frelick and Caleb Durbin in the middle of a game in April because they weren't doing things properly from a fundamental standpoint. He can criticize and bench Joey Ortiz in July for not taking the right approach offensively. And in that sense, he's actually at an advantage because he has younger players, players with less service time, as I mentioned, guys that aren't going to stand up to him. Teams in small markets don't deal with the noise as well that big market teams do. And Brian Cashman made this point Friday in St. Louis when we were talking to him. I talked to him about this as an aside. I asked about the Yankees' accountability and, hey, what's going on there? And he said, listen, in a big market, there is so much instant accountability from fans, the media, so much going on that if anything, leaders, managers, coaches have to take more of a supportive stance with players. So you don't see Aaron Boone criticizing players. Now, that's a whole different issue. We can get into that, and we have gotten into that. But what I'm talking about here is Murphy has a freedom that maybe some other teams don't. It's almost similar to the Tampa Bay Rays in the way they operate. They can do things because there's little media and fan scrutiny there that other teams do not. So that is part of this. Another part of this is, yes, the Brewers have had good fortune during this incredible 53-17 run, a run that has extended almost over half a season. Their batted ball luck has been off the charts. Okay, batting average on balls in play, actual numbers exceeding expected numbers, all of that. But you look at some of the other numbers too. They're at the top in defense and in base running. Their strikeout rates and contact rates are much improved over last year when they were the same kind of team, essentially. And some of the base running numbers also are better. Outs on the bases down, extra base taken percentage up. All of these things contribute to what is an excellent offensive club. You see right there, their offensive numbers. First in the majors in runs per game. They also do a tremendous job on the pitching side. Their pitching program, the development of pitchers, guys who come over there and improve, it's pretty good. And they do a good job with that, better than a lot of clubs. And it's one reason they are so successful. Quinn Priester is an example of that. Trevor McGill is an example of that. There are other examples up and down their staff as well. They didn't do much at the deadline. We know that. They didn't do much in the offseason. We know that. I've been critical of that with them, especially during the offseason when I thought they had a chance to do some things. They had just lost Devin Williams. They had just lost Willie Adames. Hey, they needed some reinforcement. They do it their way. And it's an awfully successful way. And again, it's a way that other teams should emulate, not necessarily in the way they're constructed. They do what they have to do, under payroll restrictions, but in the way they play the game. They scrap, they fight, they beat teams in any number of ways. And as I wrote, there's a lesson here, and it's high time other teams took notice.